Oh. Yo, there it is. Really?
How would you define Scientology?
Or a family-destroying human trafficking cult. When you die, it's just your body that died. You as a Thetan just jump into another body.
So I was born in Scientology. From the very first breath that I took, I was in the billion-year contract.
Pledging themselves lifetime after lifetime for 1 billion years.
Pat Harney, you gotta relax. This is public, right? You open it up. All are welcome. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, where is the private property line?
You need to leave right now.
Don't touch
private
me.
property.
Don't touch
It's
me.
private property. You need to leave right now.
How's this TO treating you? We can help you get out if you want to.
Yeah, get out.
Don't
You're
push
trespassing.
Where's the line?
Okay.
Where's the line?
Heckle swing. Now you get out or I'm gonna use it.
Before I begin exposing one of America's most notorious cults and reveal to you what they do behind closed doors, first let's get you up to speed on what this religion is. Scientology is a religion that was started by L. Ron Hubbard, a man who also happens to have the Guinness World Record for being one of the most published science fiction writers of all time. It's a bit of a complicated religion, so bear with me, folks. It's based on the premise that a galactic overlord named Xenu brought billions of beings to Earth millions of years ago, chucked them into volcanoes, exploded them with bombs, and created creatures called Thetans, which essentially is this invisible spirit that attaches itself to you and is responsible for all of the negative things in your life, ranging from anxiety, addiction, emotional pain, and more. And the only way to remove these pesky Thetans from your body is to follow L. Ron Hubbard's foolproof process. His methods involve paying boatloads of money to the church for courses called auditing classes, and even signing yourself up for a lucrative billion-year contract to the church. This cult has a shocking list of charges against it made by former members who allege the following. From the age of 2 on, you sometimes saw your parents only once a week.
Yeah.
I remember we had one nanny. She was like 16 years old, and she was like stuck with like infants. Like
It was, that whole thought process pretty much just stopped at the point where I was like, I don't know what to do with this.
In order to investigate this religion for ourselves, we head to Scientology's two main hubs, Clearwater, Florida, and Los Angeles, California. What we find is a world guarded by secrecy. We have numerous clashes with church security, we hear heartbreaking stories from former members who were born into the religion, and we observe how Scientology has put a stranglehold on the city of Clearwater. Folks, truth is the most powerful weapon we have against lies, manipulation, and corruption. This is what Scientology does not do. Between Clearwater and Los Angeles, this is where Scientology is primarily located. We're going undercover to start this operation, and we'll be boots on the ground here in Clearwater, Florida. These guys get $50 a week. They need a union in Scientology, huh?
It feels like we're in like a nuclear testing town, almost.
But look, like the Scientology people on the roof right there, maybe trying to sign $1 billion contract to Sea Org for $50 a week.
I have been helping people who have been abused or defrauded by Scientology.
This is Mark Bunker, a journalist, activist, city councilman, and Clearwater resident who spent over 2 decades fighting against Scientology. While many others would fold under the harassment and intimidation campaign that the church used on him, he has refused to be silenced. We pick him up and drive around Clearwater, and he helps us navigate Scientology's territory. Is there a place where a gathering place where they want to bring me in to tell me more about it?
There's a welcome center. This is the Hacienda Gardens, and this is where the Sea Org members live. They sign a billion-year contract to work for Scientology. The trees are going to cover up one area, or level until, boom, right here. Apparently, Miscavige lives behind those trees.
We would be kept up all night and sleep for a few hours under our desk. Basically, any little sense of joy that you had, there were people marching around trying to take it away.
Fuck.
My name is Jenna Miscavige, and I was born and raised in Scientology, and I left when I was 22 years old.
This is Jenna Miscavige. She was born into Scientology and is the niece of David Miscavige, the man who seized power of the church in 1987 after L. Ron Hubbard died and has ruled the church with an iron fist, allegedly, ever since. This is kind of like if Kim Jong-un's niece fled North Korea, lived to tell the tale, and we got to interview her. In Scientology, her life was tightly controlled. She endured intense indoctrination, physical labor, and emotional manipulation. Here's what she had to say.
When I was 9 years old, I did what Scientology calls a purification rundown, where I had to be in a sauna for 5 hours a day. Yeah, and I would get like bloody noses even, but you have to keep going until you achieve whatever it is they want you to. Like, you have to voice something that's the result of that program, or else you have to keep doing it, basically.
Well, my name is Serge. I grew up in Scientology.
And after
Oh my
surviving
God.
a period of horrific neglect as a child, the church began to groom him to be a rising star of their auditing team. Auditing, by the way, is one of the main exercises of this religion. It's the practice of someone getting relentlessly questioned until they are able to release painful or traumatic thoughts that they may be holding on to, believing that once they do that, they can free themselves of this negative baggage they are holding on to. This is his account of what he experienced.
The kids go from the very bottom of the org board, which is like the maids, the ones that are like 14-year-olds doing the beds of the adults that are booking rooms at the hotels, right? They recruit all the little young ones because they can have them do anything.
As a 12-year-old, basically, they put me into full-time training. So I was basically studying full-time. In Scientology, they would just call it an auditor. And then at one point that switched where I changed to be training to be the person who trains auditors.
This is Aaron Smith-Levin. His mom got him into Scientology at an early age, and after being pushed to drop out of public school at only 12 years old, he spent most of his waking hours working for the church. Now all grown up and free from the cult, he is one of Scientology's most active critics, known for his YouTube channel Growing Up in Scientology.
I worked full-time for Scientology from the age of 12 to 26. I was taken out of school to work full-time for Scientology. I never went to high school. I don't have a diploma or anything like that.
Aaron's brother and I become like these like child prodigies that David Miscavige and Shelley were very obsessed with because we completed the metering course and got a license. We were the first kids that were able to read the e-meter.
For reference, an e-meter is a sort of primitive lie detector that Scientology uses during auditing sessions to see if you are telling the truth. If an e-meter indicates to an auditor that you may be hiding something, even your darkest secret, you will be questioned again and again and again until you reveal that thought.
Perfectly on a video and get a pass by Shelley Miscavige, which was like the biggest deal in the world at the time.
You weren't just born into any family in Scientology, the Miscavige family. Of course, in attempting to get both sides of the story, we sent multiple interview requests to Scientology to speak to David Miscavige or a media representative. But due to the disastrous feedback they get when they do speak publicly, the church quite simply does not do interviews. In fact, David Miscavige has only done one interview with a journalist, with Ted Koppel back in 1992.
You realize there's a little bit of a problem in getting people to talk critically about the Church of Scientology, because quite frankly, they're scared.
Oh, no.
And since then, and for over 30 years, he has been radio silent except for totally scripted and bizarre Scientology-made media that looks like this.
Whatever you have heard, if you haven't heard it from us, I can assure you, we are not what you expect.
For a man that rules Scientology like a big tough guy, little David folds like a lawn chair when it comes to any sort of accountability or questions from the public. But there may be a reason for that. Here are some of the allegations against David.
You have written a whole book about your son, and you've called the book Ruthless.
Yeah. A very, very aggressive style and a tendency to violent outbursts that are physical in nature.
And to give you an idea of what type of guy he is, just look at what he did to his own parents that left Scientology. He and the church published hit piece websites about his parents, claiming his dad to be nothing more than a pots and pans salesman who punches his wife, and also adding that he lied about his book, saying that he was not in prison, he was not starved, and he did not have to escape from the church. And then he made his stepmom out to be a lying gold digger who wants to exploit her stepson for fame. My guy Keegan did some digging and found out that after David's parents escaped the church, they eventually settled down in West Allis, which is only 10 minutes from us in Milwaukee. He FOIA requested West Allis police records and found that Scientology paid a private investigator 10 grand a week to tail his dad and give hourly reports on his activities and whereabouts. This private investigator was found with a gun, silencer, and over 2,000 rounds of ammunition in his trunk. Stalking people with private investigators is allegedly the favorite tactic of this lovely church, and shows you just the tip of the iceberg of how much Scientology tries to ruin your life if you leave the religion or try and speak out against them.
I don't know how many people they squeeze into one apartment. 8 to 12, I believe.
From the outside, it looks like a normal Florida apartment complex. What they are is 2 and 3 bedroom units where you've got like 4 bunk beds in the living room, 4 more bunk beds in each bedroom. Like you could be fitting like 15 people, easily 15 people into a unit. Like, it's illegal.
They'll charge you for the apartment, for the food, for this, that, and the other thing. So if you leave, there are people who leave with $100,000 bill or more.
So I was born in Scientology. From the very first breath that I took, I was in the billion-year contract wrapped up because my parents had been recruited to go to the AFA. My parents are from North Mexico. I grew up in appalling conditions in Mexico. The cadet org was disgusting. It was like 100 kids. I remember we had one nanny. She was like 16 years old and she was like stuck with like infants. Like my sister also grew up there, and I remember still like her being in a crib, you know, like with full of urine, like no care for the babies at all.
Folks, we want to emphasize what we just heard because it's so crazy. Imagine this: dozens of babies in a room, many of them crying, needing to be held, sitting in their own dirty diaper, and just one overwhelmed teenager caring for them, allegedly. It's sickening, and the reason allegedly this is done is because good old L. Ron Hubbard basically believes that babies should be treated like adults and they don't need any special sort of care or attention. From the age of 2 on, you sometimes saw your parents only once a week.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
So my parents worked for Scientology's most dedicated group called the Sea Org, the Sea Organization. They signed a contract pledging themselves lifetime after lifetime for 1 billion years to servitude to Scientology. It meant that they worked like 115-hour weeks. They got little to no time off.
Kids that were born into the Sea Org were taken care of by nannies. They didn't see their parents. They were lucky they saw them for an hour a week.
What are the benefits of doing all this? Why would someone devote their life to this?
When you're doing it, you think that you're dedicating yourself to an amazing cause. You think that you're like saving mankind, and it's sort of like the greatest purpose you could have.
And our parents were in this mission to save the world, right? It's like they're all like stuck in this like, you know, job that they were doing for Scientology that they were prioritizing over their newborns, basically.
Well, they really believe they're saving the planet. This is like a mind control factory.
We wanted to get our feet wet with Scientology, so we went to their welcome center where they were selling the Dianetic books, and I happened to know after doing some research that a lady named Pat sat at the front desk, and she was actually a media liaison, so I thought she'd be a good person to talk to. Here's how this mission went.
Good morning, good morning. Oh, I'm a travel vlogger.
No filming.
Oh, I'm just a travel vlogger. Pat Harney, you gotta relax. This is public, right? You open it up. All are welcome. L. Ron Hubbard.
And who is L. Ron Hubbard?
He is a science fiction, Western fantasy author. Born in 1911 in Tilden, Nebraska. He was a guy who lived an amazing life, but was a pathological liar and a con man. He basically created Dianetics as sort of this like poor man's psychotherapy, and then a few years later created Scientology.
Oh. I'm just trying to buy a book, sir. And why does no one here answer questions?
Come over here.
Can I buy a book first?
Private property, you can, but you can buy it out here.
Are you like a leader here?
Can you please come outside?
Are you a Sea Org member?
Can you please come outside?
I will come outside if you can answer like 3 questions. I would love to come outside.
Come outside, please. This is private property.
Hey, Elron. All right, Pat, have a good day. I wish we could have talked more, honestly. Hey, guys, they're not really open to the public anymore. We have their Agent Smith coming.
Can you come up?
Oh, no. Agent Smith, what got you into Scientology? Oh, sorry, I'm just...
Can you watch that, sir?
Hold on, I'm standing still. He's taking a picture. I'm trying to pose. I don't want it to be a blurry photo. The Hacienda Gardens, what time do you think I should be by later? Like, do you guys do cookouts or anything like that?
Yeah, something like that.
I bet you guys would actually enjoy...
Check out our website. Check out our TV channel, okay? Fantastic.
All right. They answer no questions. I wasn't allowed to buy the book, which I was genuinely, I would have bought the book. I met Pat at the front.
PR person.
Oh, she's the PR person. No one would answer even one question.
Of course not.
We actually went to the infamous flag building to see if we could infiltrate and see what was going on inside. Unfortunately, a call to the Clearwater Police Department had already been made, and as soon as I touched the doors, I turned around and saw the police waiting for me.
Looks like the police made the call and are following us.
There's a call on a van, a suspicious vehicle, so...
A suspicious vehicle?
You guys can film all you want, but just don't antagonize them, I should say. Otherwise, they're gonna do a criminal trespass on you. So that means if you step foot on any of their property, you go to jail. Silly.
But right now, I'm really just trying to talk to one Scientology member that'll answer.
Good luck.
What is it like living in a city that's dominated by Scientology?
It's horrible. When we see them, they're marching in line like zombies, you know, down the street.
What do you think about them owning $200 million worth of real estate?
I mean, if that's what they want to do and they're not hurting anybody else, as long as they're American citizens.
Well, they bought that whole block, 2 blocks, I believe, and across the street, too.
They pay their taxes.
They're tax exempt.
Well, I disagree with that. Elon Musk needs to get on that. It needs to be looked at, investigated, and then someone to make a good decision on that, and that's going to be President Trump.
Nobody knows anything.
Is the town trying to do something to...
The commissioners are, but what can you do?
Scientology started secretly buying up all the property downtown here in 2017.
I was working in the hotels, I was doing demolition, I was doing construction, I was doing HVAC, and I was there with several hundred kids from all over the world. I was working 7 days a week, 8 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night, 365 days a year for 4 years.
So a lot of it was training, a lot of it was cleaning, and we did like laundry and clean the rooms of executives, so they would like inspect with a white glove to make sure that we didn't miss anything.
Tom Cruise gives all credit to Scientology for his success. Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise because he's Tom Cruise, not because of Scientology.
Every single window
is closed. Every single blind that you could see into is closed at a certain level until it ends. They're a very don't look in here type of a place. What was going through your head when your parents decided we're going back into it?
Since my whole entire family was connected to it, it never left us. So we were still kind of like exposed.
Relatives were into it.
My relatives, all my aunts, all my uncles, all my cousins, everybody. I signed a billion-year contract, and now I'm there for the rest of my life. And my pay was gonna be $50 a week. So I was like, oh damn, I'm 10K in debt, $50 a week. I'm like, okay, I guess I just have to really make it here.
When I was 12 years old, I was moved across the country here to Clearwater, and my parents were still in California.
Any part of you say, something's not right here, something's really wrong.
I don't think that second part added into it. Not like there's something really wrong. It was, that whole thought process pretty much stopped at the point where I was like, I don't know what to do about it.
Even the higher ups, like, yes, they had some things easier, but that's really mostly at the top. I feel like Scientology is like a game of power, and everybody has to report on each other, and that's how you get to the top, is essentially by throwing other people under the bus. That's the only way you can feel important.
The Way to Happiness, this used to be the Lisa McPherson Trust. This is where we had our offices, right next door to Scientology's OSA, Department of Office of Special Affairs, was right there. The Dirty Tricks people, right through there. That was my office, right behind these windows here. All locked up. They don't want anyone to see what's going on in there now. Now that they know your cameras are here, this entire several blocks of front groups are shut down.
One thing that comes to my mind when I walk past all these empty buildings that look like they're fully functioning offices, but no one's here.
Right.
It's like North Korea. It's like a very staged play that you're a part of.
Yeah.
Yet when you look, just peek a little bit behind the surface, like there's no one. All the windows are shut. There's no sunlight coming in. There's no one here. Look. They make it look like someone just had a meeting in here, or let's see if there's a front desk right here. This is an office that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, this is an office that should have at least a front desk worker, if not an employee. None of this has anyone in it. No city on earth feels the negative effects of Scientology quite like Clearwater, Florida. Some fantastic reporting by the Tampa Bay Times reveals how the church has taken over the city. In 1975, the church purchased the Fort Harrison Hotel and made this their headquarters. Over the decades, the church began acquiring real estate at a ferocious pace, scooping up property after property. Since then, they've poured hundreds of millions into more than 200 buildings, owning the majority of the Clearwater downtown. Mind you, this is with tax-free money because somehow the IRS lost their balls when confronting the church, ruling in 1993 Scientology to be a tax-exempt religion. The weird thing is, they've left most of the buildings vacant, turning Clearwater into a sort of North Korean ghost town. The question is why? Insiders speculate it's because they want to show a dominant presence, but the truth is they simply do not have the numbers of people to occupy these buildings, and it's no surprise. Their peak membership numbers were before the internet, but now that their practices are widely publicized, they are unable to recruit new members and are slowly going extinct. But even as a dying empire, they still have a great deal of power over Clearwater, and they are crushing the businesses in the downtown. Just take it from Tony, a local entrepreneur who is facing dire financial circumstances because of the church.
So this is obviously our place. We start off with the Nash keys, and between like bureaucracy and stagnation, we had harassing phone calls about us not being part of the community, to get out of the town, even death threats later. But it took us 3 years to get these places open, 1.5 years of permitting. More walls than you can imagine were being put up for us, but we got open.
When you say death threats, tell me more about that.
Death threats meaning like poisoning, harassing, to get the f out of the town. That
someone tried poisoning you?
No, they allude to that they're gonna poison me.
Describe what's happened to this block over time, and how Scientology has impeded local business pride.
The way they actually affect it is that the negative stigma that it has on it, the overbearing control and presence that they portray. They like to portray like a sense of unity that is disheartening to most of the community.
Is that their bus behind us?
Absolutely. They're more organized than our government.
And their bus windows are blacked out.
Yes, they have very weird things that they do. I've seen a bunch of strange things. This is it. It's a two-story club.
It is nice, and in the evening times, I've seen this place just booming.
If you want to fight against the empire of Scientology, come into this local business, spend some money, get a cigar, get a drink, and meet this handsome fella right here.
Let's take back Clearwater, $1 at a time, like you just said.
Do you remember what feelings were going on in your head as a 5-year-old that led to the paint thinner?
We had no one to go to. Like, there was no adults around. Like, all the adults were compromised. So in 1986, L. Ron Hubbard ends up dead, and because they had seen that a lot of people had left the Scientology because they were treating them so horribly, they would always come back with this amnesty. We're gonna forgive you for all the suppressive acts you committed. If you come back, if you write them down, then we'll forgive you, and then pretend they didn't happen. So that's when my parents got roped back in. They said, you're a suppressive because you blew because your child almost died. Oh no, we're gonna forgive you for having left without permission.
To really see what's going on in Hacienda Gardens, we got a drone operator that's gonna be able to show us what's happening and also show us their real estate holdings.
What the
fuck?
fuck?
Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you. Big fan. This is crazy. Did not
Appreciate
expect
you,
this
man.
today.
Oh, if you could go over to where the pool is, then that will help orient me a little better. It's like if you
wanna turn around?
Yeah, straight up there. Yeah, and go to the end. That was where.
Right here?
That was the end one, yeah. And my mom.
That was the
And that
penthouse
empty
suite there?
It was just 4 condos, and there would always be a security guard posted, sitting across the way looking.
It actually won't let me go lower. That's weird.
Do you think it's a blocker?
That's the only thing I can think of, because it'll let me go up, but it won't let me go back down to where I was.
Interesting.
It's really odd.
And you lived in these apartments for how long?
For about 4 years.
I lived here for a few years as well.
Really?
Do you remember which block you lived in?
Multiple blocks, but one of the last ones was this one right here.
And you really can't get out unless they let you out. Like, we would have to come out and tell them what we were doing. Like, if it was on one of the mornings where we would do cleaning, and if we wanted to, like, go to the gas station or something like that, we'd have to
Like,
tell
even
them.
going for a walk
That's
outside?
the thing, like a normal apartment complex, you know, the magnetic doors, you know, like if you have gates and magnetic doors, usually you can get out. You might need a key to get in. You cannot get out of this apartment complex without a security guard letting you out and opening the gate.
Is that D block? Why can't I read it? Yeah, that's D block.
Okay, so I lived here in D block.
Yeah.
Like
so
towards-
interestingly, they actually turned the camera away from us.
Oh, that's weird. Anyway, so I lived at the end of D block in like the lower levels. They actually had fixed these ones up to be a little bit nicer.
Would you be surprised if they had vehicles patrolling?
I'm sure they have vehicles patrolling.
Is it that?
Fuck!
Is it that paranoid?
Yeah. I mean, David Miscavige takes his security as seriously as a head of state.
The car's getting in.
Let's get in.
Hey, we got a meeting with David Miscavige. Hey, you're passing. Hold on. Hold on, please, sir. I just want to ask questions of David. Sir, please. Stop, sir. Sir, please. Oh, sir, ow!
Geez, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 cameras on us right now.
How long were your parents out before they went back in?
What was this? Like maybe like 3-4 years.
No.
Then L. Ron Hubbard dies. They go back to Mexico. They get recruited back in again.
Was their life terrible outside of Scientology?
My grandparents were chill. My grandparents were normal people.
So what would have possibly motivated after they escaped and had freedom for 3 or 4 years?
Scientology caters to a narcissistic personality because the thing is, it promises superiority. It promises you're going to be better than everyone else.
Do you ever get to confront your parents about that or ask them, are they still in it?
No, my parents aren't in Scientology anymore, and they think Scientology is horrible, and they've said that it's like the biggest regret of their life.
How was it escaping Scientology?
Well, I guess the thing is that in Scientology, you know, at certain levels of management, they actually won't let you leave. Like the area will be surrounded by gates, and they won't let you out the door. If you manage to leave, they'll chase you, because when you leave, people who are in Scientology are no longer able to speak to you. You can't get a job at a Scientology company. Like in my case, I didn't know how to drive. I didn't have a bank account. And so your livelihood, actually getting a job, depends on you being connected to these people, or you lose every family member. And so while you can just walk away, that's like totally deceiving. You risk losing everything that's important to you if you do.
I got it in my head that we wanted to storm the Celebrity Center, which is the place that the highest ranking and most influential Scientologists go. Actors like Tom Cruise and John Travolta, and businessmen like Grant Cardone. So I wanted to see for myself what was behind these walls. Here's how that went.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, where is the private property line? Where's the line?
Private property. Guys, it's private property.
Is
You're
that
on
guy-
the sidewalk.
He's on private. Oh my God, he's on private property.
Right on the sidewalk.
No, but
You're on private property.
what makes it worth selling your soul for $1 billion years?
Just close. Just move to the sidewalk. That's
Does
what we're
Tom
asking.
Cruise know that you guys work for $50 a week?
All we're asking is just to move to the sidewalk. You need to move out here.
Oh, whoa.
Come this way.
Are
You
you?
just need to move off private property.
Why are you bumping and grinding on me? This ain't a Nelly song.
We need you to
partner.
move off. You're on private property, sir.
How do we talk to someone from Scientology?
You guys need to leave right now. Get off the property. Get off the property. You're trespassing. You need to leave right now. You need to leave right now.
Don't
It's
touch
private
me.
property.
Don't touch
It's
me.
private property. You need to leave right now. Leave right now. It's private property.
All right, we'll be back. We'll be back.
Sir, you
Are you
just need
guys
to be.
pushing me?
Stop pushing me.
Push me.
I see you're on private property. We just need to move off here.
I don't have anything against you guys. I'm just curious
He's
what.
trying to help y'all escape.
You can escape. You still can leave. Like, to think that you would work 80 hours a week, what makes it worth it? Are the security guys there? Are they Scientologists?
Yes, they're actually some of the most important Scientologists. Have you ever heard of the term OSA? That's the Office of Special Affairs. Sort of like Scientology's FBI, CIA, Secret Service, all in one. So they do high ranking.
Dude, what would have happened if we would have started, we had a fist fight?
That would have been good content.
You would have fucked him up.
This is William Jude. When I told Aaron Levin Smith I was headed to LA to further investigate the church there, he said you gotta meet up with William. Known for his work battling the church on his YouTube channel Scientology Audit LA Streets, William has spent months documenting and battling Scientology. Together, we go on a mission to infiltrate the church's LA stronghold.
So my name is William Good. I'm an activist out here. Had a beef with Scientology a couple of years ago, and they said some really crude things to me.
What did they say?
The security guard told me to suck his cock. So I thought that was kind of crude, so I said I'm going to end your religion, and so here we are. So they're working 110 hours a week for nothing.
They're literally slaves.
They're slaves, and a lot of these people come from other countries, right? So they bring them here on religious visas, and then once we get here, they take their paperwork away, so now they're stuck.
Should we visit one of their plantations?
Sure. Let's go for it.
Let's go.
All right. So let's just drive by there real quick so I can just show you how to go about doing it. Then park a few blocks away, and then if you walk in with your cameras,
yeah,
there's no chance. Because when I come walking down the street, I have to hug the wall so they don't see me. The minute she sees me, she goes, they will literally run in there and close the door.
We got our guy, Cheddar, Texas Buzz, back for another investigative piece. You may have seen him in the sex, money, murder piece in Dallas, where he infiltrated the prostitution ring. Man.
Yeah, I don't know too much about this, so, I'm just gonna go in there and be genuinely curious, like what's going on.
I think that's the perfect approach. It's gonna be similar to the Clearwater bookstore, so we want to get a fresh perspective. So, Cheddar, go look on the net
Gotcha.
And no tortas on the way there. Just make it straight to the wall, okay? Get him, Cheddar.
They're no jokes with the thing.
What happened in there?
No, nothing.
They just closed the door? Did you see him close the door?
No.
They already had it closed.
this is great. He's one of the editors on my team and has been with us for a few months cranking out videos. In making this piece, we found out that he actually joined Scientology for about a week. Here's what we learned from him.
I'm Jay, and I almost joined Scientology. It was back in 2020 that I took a trip out to LA. Being in the area, you always heard about Tom Cruise talking about Scientology, so it was one of those stops I wanted to do. I was just on a regular touristy trip. I was looking at the stars, and then they got people in suits always just walking down and forth closer to the Scientology building, so that's where they got me. Initially, when you go into that building, they have their show you. So that first half that I stepped into was the museum part, and they had posters, TVs, small little like segments of like who they are. And then once you go into the bathroom, it looks more of an office, but like higher end office. They have their cubicles, they bring you into one of their cubicles and start talking to you. It felt like the whole time they're very personal, so they're always looking at you. It feels like they actually want to get to know you. We were in there for, I want to say like 4 hours. They emphasized me coming back. And they kept on saying like, oh, well, how long are you here till? You know, could you come back tomorrow? We can like do more things. So they took me from the initial consultation, I'm gonna call it, and then they pitched me well, you know, we think you benefit from this first seminar, which is this book right here. I got this book during that seminar. So if someone was reading the course, they showed us videos, we talked about it, they made us like write, so it was a full blown, you're interacting with the person teaching us, and then the videos they're showing us.
Was that the last time you went? Like, did you ever return to Scientology?
I never went back, but I know that I continuously get emails, and I still get letters sent to me.
Jennifer Cross Howard. She's like their main.
That is Jennifer.
That is Jennifer.
Can we talk to her?
Talk to her.
The lady William spotted is Jennifer Crosscart. She is Scientology's chief legal officer, even though it's unclear if she even has a license to practice law. She's the one in charge of things like getting restraining orders on protesters and personally signing all legal documents between the church and the city of Los Angeles. We jump out on foot to try and speak with her.
Jennifer, can we talk to you a little bit? How's the Sea Org treating you? We can help you get out if you want to. Jenny!
Stay off the property, you're trespassing.
Where does it start?
Nope.
Where, can you come over the liner?
Private property. Get out of the property.
You're fuck out. Get out. You're trespassing.
Where's the line?
Okay.
Where's the line?
Now you get out, or I'm filming you.
That seems like a crime.
Go ahead, report it.
That's a little pussy move. A real man wouldn't need pepper spray. I would love to see the inside. Has any footage really been captured on the inside?
Through the windows, but every time we film through the windows, they try to prosecute. You notice something? No windows are open, right? Shades are down everywhere.
So with the internet, it's almost impossible for them to recruit.
Yeah.
Before the internet, when information wasn't exposed, it was a cool hip Hollywood thing. All the LA people were doing it. Monkey see, monkey do. But that ship has sailed.
Yeah, the Celebrity Center, the reason they bought the Celebrity Center is that was going to be their main recruiting spot. That's where all the stars are going to come hang out, and you know what? I want to be part of that. That's cool. And they give acting classes there for free? Hell yeah, I want to go there. Little do you know, it's not really an acting class. You're just being recruited in. But now, because of information, all the younger generation knows. They're like, oh no, that place is a cult.
What was the moment that drove you to the point where you said, I gotta get out of here?
It's hard to just say one moment because so many things happened throughout my life. So many things that were horrible, so many things that should have been the moment. But it was after a period of time where I had been on a Scientology mission that was in an area where it wasn't as so rigid as the base that I had returned to after, where they weren't letting people sleep. They were like, if you were to fall asleep during an L. Ron Hubbard lecture, they would make you like, they would first embarrass you in front of everybody by screaming at you. And then they would make you scrub the dumpster with a toothbrush. And we weren't having any time off at all. So it was just getting more and more strict.
What made your parents leave?
They were at Scientology's international management base, and so they were witness to a lot of things that were going on there, including my uncle David Miscavige, who's the leader of Scientology, like physically beating staff.
Like punching?
Yeah, like punching in the face. And my parents themselves were separated from each other for many, many years.
This is a loaded question, but do you feel robbed of your childhood?
Yeah, actually I do often feel that way. I mean, I don't like go around being angry at it all the time. There was a period when I first came out of Scientology when I was angry at certain things that happened, but honestly, once I became a mom, I actually started to get a little bit more angry about my childhood because I just didn't know.
What's your prediction about the future of Scientology?
These stories of how Scientology treats children are going to come out more and more, and people are going to be disgusted by them. So I feel like the more stories that come out into the public, the more, whether it's a legal battle that takes them down or just like a public relations or both, it's like nobody will join. They'll eventually be blood dry, and hopefully they have some legal battles that they lose as well, and it all comes together.
To show you how full of lies and manipulation this church is, just check out this 911 call they made on us.
Team of DC 45946, just left 1306, Elron Hubbard Way, Church of Scientology, CPR 10, direct to suspects 45, no white, no further suspect vehicles.
They claim we burglarized the church and fled the scene in our rental car. Here is us saying hello to the LAPD when they reported to the scene. Hey there! So apparently the LAPD showed up to the scene.
Just park right here and just walk up. Give my regards to Xenu, okay? Thank you.
One thing to question is this: when there are repeated calls to a location like there is with Scientology, typically a city will label the property a nuisance property, which means the property in question must correct their issues or face legal action from the city. So why is it that Scientology can blatantly lie, allegedly, and disproportionately use city resources without repercussions? And keep in mind they are doing this as an entity that does not even pay taxes.
Alright folks, that was a look into the world of Scientology. If you're looking for more random stuff, his Instagram and YouTube is tagged in the description. Thank you guys for joining me on this journey. Don't join a cult. We'll see you next week. Send my regards to David Miscavige. Peace.
Folks, after seeing all this, you might be wondering if these things, like number one, has the FBI now kicked down this place's door, raided them, and gotten everyone responsible for child neglect and the other insane behaviors? Another thing that comes to mind is this place taxes them after amassing a multi-$100 million real estate portfolio. I guess I'm going to start my own religion so I can get rich too.
This world thinks that we're a cult and that we're crazy and that we're criminals simply because we teach what Jesus Christ taught 2,000 years ago.
In 2024, with access to the internet, if you hate another group because of the color of their skin, you're a fool.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! I want 100, let's go! Above your head! I march Shabbat! I march!
This brother had a shirt, this is ISCPK, and that's called Real Nigga University.
How come we're missing out on the push-ups? Don't you want to get drafted?
Yeah, get some push-ups. Okay. See, I just told the white man what to do.
Whoa.
Down.
These are the Black Israelites, and they've been designated as a hate group. They hate a lot of different types of people, but they reserve their highest level of hatred for gay people and white people. They believe that Jewish people are imposters, and that they, the Black Israelites, are the true descendants of Israel, and thereby the chosen people of God. Furthermore, they believe that when Black Jesus comes back for the rapture, that they will take over the earth and enslave the Caucasians and Asians. Now, they call themselves the Black Israelites, but probably because recruiting numbers are awfully low, they began to include Latinos and Native Americans under their umbrella. To better understand how these guys think and operate, I thought it would be a good idea to send the whitest guy in my crew, Keegan, to spend 3 days with them in Harlem, New York. What you will see in today's episode will be a combination of me personally meeting this faction of the Black Israelites and fly-in-the-wall footage from Keegan after being embedded with them a couple weeks previously. I'm genuinely perplexed at how people can hate each other in 2024, especially with things like internet access and most of us being able to learn from the ugly parts of human history. So let's unravel this mystery together, and buckle up folks, because this episode gets intense and confrontational.
The white man has gotten so good at saying stuff and people believe it that he just says shit like, and everybody like,
The so-called white man decides to be rich. What will the white man do to be rich? Anything.
I'm about the kingdom of heaven where black people rule instead of white. And we get to do all the wonderful things that white people did to us, we get to do it to them.
I tell the black man, you the greatest man that ever walked the face of the earth. And God loves you more than he loved the white man. God hates the white man because
Jesus
of what he
Christ.
did to you.
Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Morning. How are you, brother? Yes. Tommy G. Tommy Cooper might be nice, so we should probably go for that.
So Keegan's not coming today?
Keegan's parking.
He's parking,
I
okay.
can hardly park in New York. It's
Yeah,
hard
no,
for
I
me.
know it's hard to park.
Keegan.
Keegan's in parking.
Okay, how are you?
Tommy.
What's going on?
Nice to meet you.
Don't disrupt what's currently happening, all right?
Yeah.
All right, well, I was invited. Yeah.
These are brothers who came out of the world. These brothers going through a process where you're purging the old man out of you to become the new man that you want to be. And that does not happen without pain.
Apparently they've been here since 6 a.m. I admire discipline. I admire dedication. And I admire people that are willing to wake up early and get after it.
This is the first day of Hebrew Academy for the year 2025. This is to help get brothers prepared to strengthen themselves physically, but also to keep them motivated to continue.
Let's get back, come on.
What's up, brother? Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
How are you?
I'm alright, yourself?
First, I gotta say, your fashion, man, is unbelievably on point right now.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Can you describe what you got going on?
Oh, okay, I'm gonna give you this visitor's
Yes, visitor
pass. That
pass.
way we don't whip your ass.
Yeah, I was actually seeing if I could join.
Nah, you can't join.
Why is that?
Cause you're not the race that we're allowed to join with.
What race you gotta be?
You gotta be one of the 12 tribes of Israel. In North Central and South America, they're primarily blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So if your father's like of Negroid descent, Native Indian descent, Dominican, or something like that, then you could join in. But if he's not one of them, you can't join in.
What percent do I gotta have?
Your daddy just gotta be there. It's no percent. Even Jewish people say that you're Jewish according to your mother, but the Bible says it's according to your father. So like for us, Bob Marley is a white man.
Can you break that down for me?
Because if you ever look up Bob Marley's father, Bob Marley looks like his father in blackface. Because
So
Bob
my
Marley's father
mom
is
would
white.
be a beautiful black queen, but if my dad's white, I'm out.
That's right.
I'm gonna need your help reading one of these words, but can you say what that shirt says?
This brother has a shirt. This is ISUPK, and that's called Real Nigga University.
Nice to meet you. I'm Tommy.
How you doing?
How are
No
you?
problem. Now, a lot of people, of course, the word nigga has always been a derogatory term for black people in America. But this is also an identifying marker for who the children of Israel are in the Bible. When you go to the book of Acts 13, verse 1, they call Barnabas Niger, which is where nigga comes from.
How long did it take for you to acquire your real
nigga
status?
You can answer.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
It took me 90 days.
And what kind of training or certification did you undergo in your quest to become a real
nigga?
I attend class for 90 days, and then that's when I'm born again.
And what made you say, I want to become a real
nigga?
It was nothing out there for me to navigate to become and understand who I was and who I am. I looked at the word nigga as a negative term until I found out that it was an identity marker. You know, it's a shocker when you wake up and you find out that you're the descendants of Moses.
Was Moses a real
nigga? Hell yeah.
Was Jesus Christ a real?
The realest nigga.
Was Malcolm X a real?
No. Malcolm X had a good spirit for brother. Hey, can I get my coffee?
Let's go, turn it up. You're moving too slow.
Malcolm X was
Hold on. Can I say something? Well, I was expecting your coffee to come straight black. And right now, that coffee has got some Caucasian mixed into it, brother.
This is a vintage.
This is allowed in this school and the real...
Yeah, real nigga university. Yeah, we drink coffee. This is oat milk shaken espresso, vanilla cinnamon foam.
Was vanilla?
Yeah,
Are you
cinnamon
appropriating my
cold
culture right now?
Nah, but coffee can't integrate. The reason why I said Malcolm is not a real one is because Malcolm was trying to join us to the Arabs religion. Malcolm had the right spirit of brotherhood, but the wrong religion. So he was leading us to Islam. It's like Martin Luther King leading us to Christianity. So we don't like either one of them. Neither one of them are real niggas.
Wait, Martin Luther King?
You love Martin, don't you?
I think he was a good man. Beautiful day in New York. You know, the sun's out. Lots of people zipping around.
This is a special occasion. Go ahead. Martin Luther King. All false apostles that have deceived many. You understand? They deceived so many people that you would think they actually were sent by God. Because so many people believed them. It's a sea of people that believe that Martin Luther King was truly a man of God. And if you are not careful, you will get caught up in that wave. And the march he had was so magnificent. And the statues of him, and he's on TV every day. They transform themselves into the disciples of Christ, but they're not.
I'm about anyone that wants to unite the people. So that's why I like Malcolm X.
And enslave us to y'all, right?
No. Let me reverse Uno card. You want to enslave us, right?
No.
You don't want white slaves?
This world thinks that we're a cult and that we're crazy and that we're crazy simply because we teach what Jesus Christ taught 2,000 years ago. Nothing else.
I want to see sets of 25. Y'all understand? Do y'all understand? You can't hear me out? I want to hear you. You understand? Sit up. Sit up. Sets of 25. Begin. Move. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm embarrassed by this entire thing.
Come on, sir.
Man and General Yohana had to be here and see these family men. These are family men. These are good husbands and dads. Wasting their weekend with my cult. They will never be accepted into my cult ever.
Come on.
Wasting a weekend.
We train brothers to be physically fit, mentally fit, and spiritually fit.
What's the brand of martial arts we're learning right now?
Yad Karab, hand combat. Yad means hand, Karab means combat. Structure, the brother in the middle with the stick hanging on his side, that's Captain Akkad.
Does he ever whack people with the stick?
If he has to defend himself.
Like he doesn't, like if you do a wrong like karate chop, he doesn't.
No, he don't. No.
I look at Commander Yohana as like my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? And he's done so many things. And he's the one that has led my quote-unquote father, which would be Captain Tazariak. I look at Cap as my father. Like you know, if I were to disappoint Cap, I feel pain. Like I never felt disappointment or being ashamed of doing something with my mom or my stepfather. But you know, growing up trying to shape myself into the person I am right now is because of Cap, and he learned from Commander Yohana. You know, I look at Captain Tazariak as my father and Commander Yohana as my grandfather.
Also, too, I have my
Well, I feel like I just broke through.
You ain't break through shit, man. You just filming. You just a white guy filming.
How come we're missing out on the push-ups? Don't you want to get drafted?
Yeah, get down and get some push-ups. See, I just told a white man what to do. Down.
Now
you should take a picture. My slave. Get in position.
I'm not doing what Master says.
In the kingdom, when he says I'm not doing what Master says, that's what happens.
So you believe White people are destined to be slaves.
Facts. That's what God said. He that leadeth in the captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
I've never put anyone in captivity. I've never enslaved
But
anyone.
your ancestors is
no,
why
actually
you
they
benefit.
didn't. Actually they did.
Where you from?
Poland. I came from the Polish poor farmers in South Dakota that didn't have shit, that came from Poland that didn't have shit, but also I don't believe in collectivism. I don't believe that. That would mean like if one black guy in Pennsylvania did something, I'm gonna be like, oh well, you have to pay for the consequences. Someone that did something 200 years ago, just because you happen to look slightly like them, that is a dumb idea.
Nah. Thank you, Master T. Thank you, Master T. How happy are you right now? Master T. Master T. I don't want to do no more jumping jack. Master T. You feel better? You feel good?
No.
Does that make you feel better when I'm a slave?
No, but when my audience
what does that say
watches,
about
they'll
you
say,
if you want me to be a slave? Master T.
To my audience?
Yeah,
or to
Master
your
T.
audience?
Master
To your audience, you're not having compassion. To my audience, it's like I'm prepared to be a good slave.
Master T, I'm recruiting for the black Israelites. Neither of us technically qualify, but I think we can make an exception. Would you like to join?
Oh, I'm good, thank you.
We could join them and we could be on their side. Otherwise, they're going to enslave us, right? Would you enslave her too?
You're a Latino, right?
Yeah.
No, she's saved.
Oh, so she would be considered a black
Yeah, she's one of us. Yeah, she's one.
I'm Latina, so that is part black.
Yeah.
He wants to enslave me.
He wants to enslave you?
What do you think about that?
I said God wants to enslave his people for what they did to our people.
No, it's time to forget.
Right. Right. Because we're willing to suffer, to have faith. You are not. You should go home. You should go be with that one measly woman who's willing to be sexually deprived every day because she's married to you, and those children who are future drug addicts and you should go be with them. You shouldn't be out here with my cult.
Do you think you can get my arms as big as yours?
I mean, I don't know. I might, we can see. I don't know. Give me 50. I mean, like, he gonna serve. He can serve. It's like, he good to serve.
We want no cowards in our camp, Only men prepared to die. Ooh. We want no cowards in our camp, Only let their colors fly. Ooh. We want no cowards in our camp, Only men prepared to die. We want no cowards in our camp, and we let them colors fly. Ooh. We want no cowards in our camp, Let's go! Prepared to die. Ooh. We want no cowards in our camp, that'll let their colors fly. Ooh. We want no cowards in our camp, only men prepared to die. Ooh. Let's go! No cowards in our camp, that'll let their colors fly. Ooh. We want no cowards in our camp, only men prepared to die.
I don't qualify because of my non-black status. Do you want to join?
Of course not.
Why not?
Why not? Because I'm the same as you.
They want to enslave us. That would be restoring it to paradise.
Oh, okay.
Fellas, any interest in joining?
Nah, there's certain things where slavery still plays a part because we're all in the system. I feel like everybody's a number. We live in certain areas where in reality it's segregated. And I personally feel like there is slavery still.
I imagine Shabbat. I imagine. Slap to it. Oh, God.
You guys have been labeled as a hate group.
Yes, we have.
Are you a hate group?
It depends on who you ask because we love blacks, Latinos, Haitians, Dominicans, Mexicans, Guatemalans, Panamanians.
Do you hate white people?
God hates white people.
Do you hate white people?
I can only hate white people because God hates white people.
So you do through the shield of God?
I do through my father. Like I hate what my father hates.
Sir, would you say you hate whites?
What I hate is the crimes that were committed against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's what I hate.
Do you hope that I'm enslaved one day?
Well, the Bible says that, you know, the nations that, you know, came up against the nation of Israel will have to serve out their punishment in due time. But, you know, the Lord will make that determination.
How would you diagnose the current state of Black America right now?
You know, we got work to do, of course. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we out here. Commander General Yohana gave us the mission to go out here and bring our brothers and sisters out of this hell that we live in called America. As long as we do that, we got work to do.
If you could broadcast a message to every black man in America, what would you tell them?
To have brotherhood and sisterhood, come back to the laws of God, keep the commandments. That's what I would tell them.
Are you guys segregationists?
Segregationists, yeah. Why not?
Has that ever played out poorly in history, would you say?
White people are segregationists.
I don't know any. I literally don't know one white person that wants segregation. Here's the truth. In 2024, with access to the internet, if you hate another group because of the color of their skin, you're a fool. Sorry.
And what's the reason? It's not the color of their skin, though.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's their actions. It's what they do. If it was color of the skin, you heard me earlier say Bob Marley is white. You heard me earlier say we don't like Africans either for the very reason. When somebody commits crimes, you don't think about their color. You think about what they did to you.
Keegan, let me ask you something. In the 48 hours you've been around, have you been mistreated?
No.
Did we feed you?
Oh, yeah.
Did you get some water?
Yeah.
We gave him some water. Right. We gave him some food. He came around. He gonna go home to his family. One white man came into a black church and nobody went home to their family. We are the most compassionate people on earth. And don't get it twisted. Keegan, I still want to see your nation burn. We gotta take care of us before we take care of someone else.
My question would be is, why do white people feel the need to be loved by black people?
I would say unity for everyone. I think we should all love each other. Every American, every human on earth, we should love each other. I think that's a pretty good goal.
If I loved you, how would it even really improve the average black person?
Listen, I'm not the one standing in Times Square yelling they hate white people, so that's why I'm asking about it.
If we scream love, how would it help?
The world would be a better place if we loved each other more.
Hey, I did want you to ask my general, my leader, if you had a couple questions.
Yes. Hello, General.
If I could, this is Commander General Yohana. This is the leader of ISUBK, the organization that I'm in. This is Tommy that came to do a documentary, and of course I wanted to bring him to you, sir, to ask you a couple questions. I don't know what he's gonna ask you, but I just
it's all fine. It's all good.
What's your mission? What are you about?
I'm about the kingdom of heaven, where black people rule instead of white. And we get to do all the wonderful things that white people did to us, we get to do it to them.
Such as?
You tell me. What have white people done to black people?
Oh, what time period are we talking?
Any time period.
Recently?
Any time period.
Yeah, I gave a guy like a handshake and a hug yesterday, so maybe that qualifies?
Could qualify, possibly. What else? Well, let's talk about the bad things that you did, though.
Are we talking about slavery?
Oh, are you talking about slavery? Are you mentioning slavery as one thing?
I feel like that's a key subject around here.
I agree with you. Slavery is one. You gobbled up the world, and we seek Christ's kingdom for a day that our roles reverse. The scriptures say this, that let the saints sing aloud on their bed with a two-edged sword in their hand to bring their kings into fetters of iron. So we seek the day that the changing of the guard comes.
See, we seek the Lord for our revenge. Right. People harm us and do evil things to us. That happens. But we know how to get them back. We know just how to get revenge on people. And in the UPK, we believe in revenge. We believe in revenge. We believe in justice. The difference is we know how to actually get it done.
There was a movie, 12 Years a Slave, but it sounds like you're asking for 2,000 years a slave.
Well, I'm asking for whatever God wants. And God wants you to serve twice what we serve.
You honestly believe that God wants slavery?
Can I show it to you?
Sure.
And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
And you're familiar with the Bible, right? So you know this is John the Revelator seeing a vision. And God is giving him a message. And he's saying for God's people to come out of her. You know who the her is? The her is the whore of Babylon. The empire that brought in all the Babylonian witchcraft of the ancient Babylonian empire. That empire is America and the European world.
You may not be partakers of her sins.
See what God said? We got to not be partakers of your sins. Like you see how...
Where is that yours?
Partakers of her sins.
And her
sins? Is the daughter of Babylon.
Babylon.
Right.
And that you're connecting to white people somehow.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though this was written 2,000 years before America became
That's
real.
the beauty of prophecy.
And that you receive not of her plague.
And that you receive not of her plague. Meaning this daughter of Babylon, this her that he's talking about, is about to be plagued horribly.
Oh my God.
For her sins have reached unto heaven.
Because her sins, the evils that have been done by this empire, called her in Revelation, have reached all the way to heaven, meaning God sees them and God is angry at them and God wants to do something about them.
And God had remembered her iniquities.
And he's remembered all the things that she's done over time.
Reward her even as she rewarded you.
This is important. He said, reward her, the her, even as she rewarded you. How did she reward us? She rewarded us with what you brought out. One thing was slavery.
Oh, wow.
A reward.
That's why he's saying reward her even as she rewarded you.
It says, and double unto her, double according to her works.
According to her works, give her twice as much.
I think if you were to look at that text,
right,
it sounds like if someone gave you and rewarded you with something, to be more generous, twice as generous with it. That's a very positive, nice, community-driven quote. And instead, you guys, I would say you guys are very similar to the Ku Klux Klan, which is you've taken obscure texts and warped them into ways that create hate.
What seminary school did you go to?
The School of Rationality.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. Because I went to the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge and received my PhD in the knowledge of the truth. See, that's the problem with the white. Listen, the white man has gotten so good at just saying stuff and people believe it that he just says shit like, and everybody like.
Who came up with this interpretation?
Who came up with this? Great scholars who
before you.
Oh, before me. I need everything you hear me say. I created none of it. This is not created by me.
Would you say you're a happy man?
I would say that I cannot see.
Oh my Lord.
There's nothing greater than to have your eyes open to the real world that you live in. It's not a personal thing with you. I don't know you. I don't hate you because you're white. I don't look at you like, oh, he's a white man. I don't look at any of that. But your people have committed crime. I mean, global crimes. And here's the thing. Our people have been taught that even though you've done these crimes, we should think, like you said, practical, not think how God said. You should be punished, shouldn't you? No. For the things, I mean your people, for the things that your people have done, shouldn't they be punished for?
I don't believe in collective guilt from 20 years ago.
You don't believe in
collective guilt? It's a terrible idea, and if you look at it in practice and history, it's a very bad idea.
Let's say it's a bad idea.
They do it in North Korea. I don't know if you want to move there, but it's pretty bad.
Let's say it's a bad idea. Is it just?
No.
What's wrong with punishing a man for
something you didn't do? I'm going to punish you because someone in your family did it. That's a bad idea, isn't it?
You just did it the other day. You just locked up some guy.
Who's me? I didn't lock up
meaning your people. You're a part of your people, aren't you? You are an American, aren't you? It's not. You're like not really American, or?
No, I'm a total American. I love America.
Okay.
But it's not like all white people are on some similar page of like, what are we doing next today? Like, why are you so obsessed with punishing a white guy?
You know why?
Why not just live your own life?
You know why? You know why?
Yeah.
Because I lived my whole life watching white people punish black people. I spent my entire life watching all of my friends be dragged out of cars, beat up by cops, assaulted by white cops, murdered. Show me a black area where there's no white people. Show me.
Milwaukee. Milwaukee's one of the most segregated cities in the country. Yeah.
When you go to the black side of Milwaukee, who owns the real estate there?
Mostly like Indian and Arab guys.
Indian and Arab guys. So not black people.
Some, but not a lot.
It's the black people, but they don't own all of it.
Correct.
Who owns the utility?
We Energies, the utility company.
Which is who?
I wouldn't say that's white people.
No, you wouldn't.
You want to be rich. You cannot decide to be rich like our oppressor, the so-called white man, decides to be rich. What will the white man do to be rich? Anything. He has no morals. He has no code of conduct. The ends justify the means when it comes to the so-called white man. He'll poison the entire planet Earth. He'll make Facebook addictive simply so that he can make more money.
Why don't you start a company?
Here's the amazing part about starting a company.
Yeah, like anyone can do it. Literally anyone around the world can come to America and start
starting a black company is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Here's the problem with it. Your people, being the monsters that they are, will destroy it.
You feel like you're kind of using some excuses to not just advance your own life?
I'm using the recent history.
You don't know any black millionaires that are doing really good for themselves?
There are black billionaires in America. Can they help black people? What happened to Kanye West?
Because he spoke out against Jewish folks.
So you can help black people if you shut your goddamn mouth. Is that what you're saying? See, I thought we was equal, see?
We are.
I thought it was equality, you know what I mean?
I think we're in agreement, and most people on the planet are, that what black Americans went through in slavery, and slavery all around the world, was an abomination, one of the worst things that humans have ever done to each other. But where we differ is I happen to believe it shouldn't be repeated.
But you do believe it should be fixed, correct?
Of course, I feel like it has been, yeah.
Well, you believe it has been fixed, we don't. Now, here's the thing. If that's the case, no problem. Why not give us, the slaves, the choice? What if you turned around and said, you know what? We'll give you the portion of the United States that you built and worked for percentage-wise, and we'll let you start your nation. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about black people saying, you know what? We want 5 states in the United States to make our own country. Would that be wrong?
Oh my gosh.
Population, the Chinese are 3% of the United States. You guys
The
get
Chinese didn't suffer slavery like us. Don't mix us with the Chinese. The Chinese didn't have chains on them and brought over here in cargo ships, see? That's a white man thing.
There's a possibility that we might have a second black president in a couple of months. What do you think about that?
I didn't know there was a black president on the ballot. Who are you talking about?
Some might say Kamala Harris would be the...
Some might say that. What does Black America say?
What does Black America say?
Black America says that Kamala Harris's mother is an East Indian. Kamala Harris's father's father is a white slave owner.
That's right.
Kamala Harris's father, who's a Marxist and a communist, is who taught Kamala Harris. If you're going to put a black person in the White House, don't shame us by giving us somebody who's really of another identity and just has dark skin. Barack Obama was another example.
But we thought Obama was going to be Jesus. And when Obama got in office, he legalized same-sex marriage. Now all you see is gays just running around when every gay person has been molested. And that's what made them gay. Nobody is born gay. Life makes you gay. The person that does that makes you gay. You don't believe me? Saucy Santana just came out with a book. Now, Saucy Santana is a gay rapper, a popular gay rapper. And then he wrote his book that said he was passed around from house to house by his cousins. And that's what made him gay.
Barack Obama was not black?
Hold on a second. Barack Obama was definitely not black. His mother was white, and his father was from Africa. An African nation, by the way.
Barack Obama was not black.
You know what it means to be black?
What does it mean to be black?
It means that you are part of the slaves who came over here in cargo slave ships, who were put into slavery, came out of slavery, you understand? Came out of slavery, and then turned around and began to be a part of society. We don't consider some dark-skinned person from India or from somewhere else to be black.
I don't want to take up too much of your time, General. One more question. If you could broadcast a message to every black man in America, what would you say?
Separate from white people quickly, because they're going to drag you into the Third World War and destroy your lives further.
Would you recommend any black people join the military?
I would recommend that all blacks and Latinos leave the military. We fought in all of your wars. Have we even gotten a level playing field in which to prosper on? We have not. So why should we now go and die in another war, and the greatest of wars, for you to acquire more land, for you to steal the Palestinians' oil, for you to steal Lebanon's oil? Why should we die for that?
Hey, Daddy, can we start another war and take Yemen, please? Okay, thank you. All right, I'll see you for crumpets this afternoon. All right, goodbye.
Like, why should we die
don't
for
season
that?
the chicken when I get home for dinner, Dad. All right, bye-bye.
It was good talking to you.
Pleasure. Honestly, to be invited here and hang out with you guys, I think you guys are fascinating. I like the organization. I think the discipline, the exercise, the togetherness, I think I'm a really big fan of. The whole like enslaving white people part, I feel like if you forgot that, I feel like you'd get a lot more members and that you'd be a very powerful movement.
For all that's done to black people by white people over the years, could you really respect us
if we love the people that did all this to us?
You know how I think the biggest fuck you could give to white people if you feel that way is to fucking go out, start a ton of businesses, acquire real estate together, acquire assets, acquire corporations, build it, and then you'll have true power.
How do you know we haven't done that already?
Do you?
Have we?
I would guess because...
We would never tell a white man.
I would tell, what do you mean? I would tell most people don't. Okay. The cool thing about this life is you can choose what to believe in, you can choose what to invest your time in, and I think people are fascinating. We have all sorts of beliefs around the world, and this is one of them.
Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein.
It's just very strange for a lot of people that the list of clients that went to the island has not been made public.
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it?
So if you're able to, you'll be...
Yeah, I'd certainly take a look at it. This is a Democrat hoax. Yeah, I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it.
He is now calling it a Democratic hoax.
The Epstein saga is not a hoax.
Evidence that shows that Epstein was a creation of either Mossad, Israeli intelligence, American intelligence.
But the bottom line is the records are getting out.
The president says that a politicized hoax.
What the hell are they afraid of?
2 years ago, we talked about releasing the Epstein files. Last night, I was shocked to hear that you voted against releasing the Epstein files.
You got a lot of people that could be mentioned in those files that don't deserve to be.
And you're really calling the women who were in tears talking about in junior high a hoax? How demeaning, how insulting.
In junior high?
In junior high, some about 13, 14 years old.
I wanted to look into the Epstein file cover-up, but I didn't want to risk offending the president or doubting the FBI director's official narrative or making our politicians feel uncomfortable by asking too many questions. You know what? Fuck that. I'm not apologizing for anything. It's time to go gloves off. These people are lying to us, and I don't care whether it's Biden, Kamala, Trump. If you are in charge of our country and you're hiding, protecting a billionaire sex trafficking ring, then we, the people, are coming after you and have every right to demand the answers. In fact, we pay each and every day with our paycheck to demand answers and accountability from you. And our president, Donald Trump, actually talked about the Epstein files. Here's what him and his administration said before they won the election.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
It's pretty sick what that man did. 200 victims, well over 250 actually.
Who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book?
FBI. As a former number 2 in the IC, they overclassify 50% of the stuff there to protect the deep state. Oh no, you can't see that. Nothing to see here.
And now that these people are in power, here's what they are saying.
Look, the whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful 6 months in the history of our country. This is a Democrat hoax that never ends.
20 years ago, or whenever it was, 2006, 7, 8, Epstein gets his sweetheart plea deal, right? I wasn't in power there. I wasn't in place there. I had, nothing to do with it. But
are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
I put out a poll on my YouTube channel and 115,000 of you replied. And 96% of you said that the government is a bunch of filthy liars when it comes to the official narrative on the Epstein story. So me and my team boarded a plane and we flew to Washington, D.C. to launch a full-scale investigation. In doing so, we talked to United States senators, guys like Chuck Schumer, Ron Johnson, and Rand Paul, as well as representatives like Nancy Mace, Hank Johnson, and the man that's leading the charge to push for transparency, Representative Ro Khanna. Furthermore, we joined forces with one of the top conspiracy theory experts on the internet, Mr. Ian Carroll, and we also spoke with a guy by the name of Mike Yeagley, a man who works with all of your favorite three-letter agencies and claims to have seen a version of the Epstein files himself. We get into this and much, much more. We are here in Washington, D.C., the beating heart of where it all goes down. And today we're looking into what might be the biggest cover-up in American history, the Epstein file list. The fact that the elites, the billionaires, the well-connected might be in a
ring right before our eyes, and they are lying to our face about it.
This is a Democrat hoax. They're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president.
And I want you to suspend your tribalism for a moment. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, or somewhere in between. This is about the truth. This isn't about one party or the other. I actually think they're probably both complicit in this. We're going to get to the bottom of this because I think this is very important. So join me as we question, and we do one of the most American things there is, which is to question authority, demand the truth, and get the knowledge out to the people, we the people, who fund all of this. Let's begin.
My name's Ian Carroll, and I'm an independent journalist, researcher, content creator, and my slogan is follow the money, seek the truth. Jeffrey Epstein was an unqualified math teacher for the wealthiest of the wealthy, that then got recruited to be an unqualified banker, that then kind of failed out of banking during a scandal, and somewhere in there he got hooked up with human traffickers and blackmailers and started what appears to be the world's largest known sexual blackmail trafficking ring.
One of the guys leading the charges of encouraging the government to release the files is Representative Ro Khanna from California. Ro Khanna, a Democratic congressman representing San Francisco, is co-leading the charge with Kentucky Republican Thomas Massie to force a release of the Epstein files. Seen on popular podcasts like Theo Von and Flagrant, he is a politician who is determined to be transparent. He's coming to the Airbnb. Hey, good to meet you. How are you?
Good to meet you.
Thank you for coming through.
I'm Ro.
Good to meet you.
And he had this whole scheme where if you were rich and if you were powerful, you basically got away with assaulting girls. And then these rich and powerful men said, what are you going to do about it?
Proceeded to blackmail most of the most powerful people all around the world, which now is the story that's broken all over everyone's newspapers and Twitter feeds. And he took that blackmail ring straight into the White House and visited Bill Clinton 17 times in the White House with the likes of Robert Maxwell and Ehud Barak, directly linked to the Israeli government. And Leslie Wexner bankrolled Jeffrey Epstein. And that's not just a matter of speech. He signed over power of attorney to Jeffrey Epstein. So Jeffrey Epstein could have sold Victoria's Secret on behalf of Leslie Wexner.
I gotta say, I don't wear a suit often anymore, but I feel at least 10 IQ points higher right now. I feel good. I feel quite patriotic today. Getting the chance to talk to our elected officials and demand accountability, to me, is something that makes me very proud to be an American. So we're here with Representative Nancy Mace, one of the people that is leading the charge to expose the Epstein files. Let's just start with the basics. Do you think Jeffrey Epstein killed himself?
Well, we don't have the camera evidence. Wasn't the angle of the camera, was it there?
I have no reason to believe that he didn't.
You don't think that there are suspicious details surrounding his death?
I do.
Security cameras magically going off, the security guards falling asleep, being on suicide watch but still having access to suicide material.
Yeah, I think there's suspicion, and I think we've got to keep getting the files out, but that may be something we never are able to figure out.
This is Mike Yeagley. He's an independent contractor, data analyst, and security specialist who provides critical intelligence support to elite military units and to the three-letter agencies that everyone watching this is familiar with. In other words, Mike's skill set is that in real time, he can track the location of nearly anyone in the world using specialized methods, and three-letter agencies hire him for this reason. He says in his possession is a version of the Epstein files, and he speaks on his theories based on the information he's reviewed.
School teacher without a degree that magically got worth hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars.
It's kind of like congressmen that come to Washington with a net worth of $100,000, and 3 years later they've got $8.4 million net worth. How did that happen?
Who is Ghislaine Maxwell?
She was the madam. She was the one female that could talk to an impressionable 15-year-old girl who wanted to be a model for The Limited.
Basically grooming these young girls and bringing them to Epstein. She was there recruiting more junior high and high school students for Epstein. She was part of the abuse. And for her to now get pardoned is a slap in the face of every survivor.
Do you think it's possible that that's going to happen?
This president is capable of anything. I also thought it was a slam dunk he would release the Epstein file. Something is there that's forcing him not to release it.
Ghislaine Maxwell is the daughter of Robert Maxwell.
Her dad was an interesting character. There's no doubt about that.
Now, Ghislaine Maxwell was Jeffrey Epstein's partner in crime that made this business work. And she has a very interesting background. She's pictured here with her father, Robert Maxwell, who happened to be a media mogul, a textbook publisher, a known asset of Mossad, and he died under very suspicious circumstances.
He is very well known to have worked for Israel and Mossad through most of his life. Robert Maxwell was in publishing. He was a publisher, a power publisher, and his operation very much seems to be an influence operation focused around information and publishing, largely textbooks, the educational stuff that we all grew up reading.
So it's possible that the social studies book that I read in class in 5th grade that Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's dad, Jeffrey Epstein's father-in-law, in a way,
yeah,
had a hand in?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, you heard that right. Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine's father, was a textbook mogul whose company, Macmillan Inc., made a joint venture with McGraw-Hill, and this partnership made them the second biggest publisher of American textbooks in the late 80s and early 90s. In fact, you may have used one of his books to study in your class at school, and while it is not official that he was working for Israel or Mossad, he was a British citizen that was given a lavish funeral in a historic Israeli cemetery that was reportedly attended by the Israeli president, top Israeli intelligence officials, and the eulogy was given by their prime minister, who said that Maxwell was almost a mythological figure. Yeah, it sounds like it. So it seems at least one thing Epstein and Maxwell had in common was having frequent contact with Israeli prime ministers. But more on that later in this episode.
He had stolen all kinds of crazy money, and then he just fell off his boat and died. And all the money went missing. No one ever found it. I've heard some interesting theories about how Epstein seems to have turned up with a very similar amount of money, basically that same year.
And what happened is there was a cover-up. Epstein got a slap on the wrist. There was no one who talked to the survivors. And a lot of other rich and powerful men who he farmed out underage girls to basically have not been held accountable. Thomas Massey and I, Republican Democrats, said release the file. And we called the survivors to the steps of the Capitol. For 10 years, no one had heard them. They started telling their stories. They broke down in tears.
But I wasn't the only one. None of us were.
Well, if a country can't stand up for survivors, they've lost our moral soul. If they can't protect children, we've lost our moral soul. This is not political. It's a moral issue. And we're going to fight to get these files released.
A lot of independents like myself cheered for Trump over Kamala because one of the things he campaigned on was releasing the Epstein files. He is now calling it a Democratic hoax. But then at the same time, he's the key contributor of an agent helping bring it down. Which one is it? Recently, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson claimed,
They kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down.
Then Mr. Mike Johnson changed his story to this.
I used the right word. I said FBI informant. I'm not sure. I wasn't there. This is in my lane.
So this guy, that's third in line of the presidency, isn't sure whether Trump is an FBI informant or not. And because the White House narrative on Epstein changes so fast, my question to Nancy Mace was, which story is it?
I hear, hey, this is a witch hunt with the media who've lied about him for years. So, like, I get his frustration. They're trying to portray him as this horrible human being when he's actually not the bad guy. He's not the boogeyman in this. The boogeyman is dead. And his little black book, who knows where it is. And I do think there is a massive cover-up. I don't think Trump, he has nothing to do with it.
I read something that 1,000 FBI agents are working around the clock to redact his name in particular. ABC News and other outlets reported in July of 2025 that Pam Bondi allegedly told Trump that his name was in the Epstein files. Then, Senator Dick Durbin made the allegation that the FBI was having agents work around the clock to cover for Trump. Now, if the claims of Senator Durbin are true, it is disturbing to learn what lengths this administration will go to cover this story up.
We don't have 1,000 agents we can dedicate to one thing like that. They're just
so possible nonsense.
Physically impossible.
We know that Trump is in the files.
What makes you sure to say that? Hank Johnson is a Democratic congressman from Georgia. Here was his take on the current state of the Epstein file cover-up.
Well, because He had 1,000 FBI agents combing through the records to remove his name. The Epstein saga is not a hoax. It's not fake. It is real. Thousands of victims, not just from the United States of America, but from across the world.
They're not buying the bullshit. Maybe 20 years ago, when somebody could go on the press and the story was controlled in a news cycle that lasted for 20 minutes on Tim Russert, you could get away with that. I don't think you can get away with that anymore.
Now they're saying, what force is so powerful that even Donald Trump is not able to release these files?
I saw that for the petition to release the files, only 4 Republicans put their name on it.
Courageous, 4 courageous Republicans.
3 of them women, Lauren Boebert, MTG,
yeah.
Nancy Mace,
yeah.
and
Massey.
Where the hell are the rest of the Republicans on this? How could you possibly vote against it?
Well, it hasn't come for a vote yet. So we just signed our names to it. Once it gets to 218, very soon, then it'll come to the floor for a vote.
Let's look more at the question of why Republicans are largely not voting to release the Epstein files. Well, first let's consider that the Trump administration allegedly declared it to be a hostile act if they voted for the release. Interesting. To the common man, it appears most Republicans are compromising their integrity because they are intimidated or afraid of Donald Trump, allegedly. And to me, the story of a party acting spineless to protect their leader instead of doing what they are supposed to do, which is represent us, their voting base, is similar to when the Democrats pretended that former President Joe Biden was not a dementia patient running for re-election. The bottom line is lying or covering for your party is cowardly, and we as Americans should be mad when either side does this. Surprisingly, we're getting one of the top Democrats, probably the top Democrat, Chuck Schumer, to speak to us. Hey.
By the way, this is the original Gilbert Stuart of George Washington.
Really?
We used it for the portrait of the dollar bill. Isn't that amazing?
This is a beautiful building to be in.
Isn't it? Yeah.
You try to pass a resolution to prompt the release of the Epstein files.
Right, we did. They don't want to vote on it, but we found a good way to force them to vote on it today, and we did. And they're squirming because so many of them have said. Mitch McConnell has said release the Epstein files. John Thune has said release the Epstein files. Marsha Blackburn has said it. Tom Johnson has said it. They've all said it. Now they get a vote, and they vote to just keep concealing it.
Why?
What the hell are they afraid of? They're either covering up for Donald Trump, who we know is worried about these files because he's lied about it constantly. He's the one who made a campaign issue out of this. He said release the Epstein files.
Him, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi,
they all said it. They're the ones who pushed to release the files, and frankly, a good number of people, even on the MAGA right, said release the files as well, because they thought, hey, maybe this shows that Donald Trump is part of the whole corrupt scheme that he claims to want to undo. No one believes Trump.
So last night we met with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, and they forced a vote to try and release the Epstein files, and it failed. 51 to 49, the Republicans squashed it. We're gonna meet with our Wisconsin friend Ron Johnson, who voted against it. Ron, we have to have a very candid conversation here because 2 years ago, you told me you wanted to release the file. Do you believe that there's anything fishy about the death of Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, certainly it's fishy. The cover-up of the list of individuals that visited Epstein Island
seem crazy?
Is pretty fishy. I will say, I think that's true, is mainly people of the left that Jeffrey Epstein was courting and that took advantage of his island pleasures.
Don't you feel like anyone that's on that list should be looked into?
Well, I think we should have a full investigation of Jeffrey Epstein and his activities.
Does it feel like it's been kind of brushed under the rug?
Yes, because it has been.
We're going to find more of that out in just a few minutes here. Now is the time for a few good men to come to the aid of their country. Hello, how are you? Good, I'm Tommy. I'm here for an interview with Mr. Johnson. And then look, I mean, who knows? This might be true, but otherwise this is the culture war is getting fanned with this. I wonder if a foreign country would like it if we were divided about that kind of stuff.
All right, well, let's get you in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey there. Mr. Johnson.
How you doing?
Good to see you again, man.
Good to see you.
How are you? 2 years ago, when we met, we talked about releasing the Epstein files. Last night, I was shocked to hear there was a resolution on the floor, and it didn't pass. You voted against it, 49 to 51, against releasing the Epstein files.
Well, I understand that was a poison pill in a process of trying to pass a National Defense Authorization Act. First of all, I'm as curious as anybody.
Morning. How are you? I'm Tommy. Nice to meet you guys. Where would you like us to set up? Hey, an absolute honor. My name's Thomas. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I think one of the things that really annoys people is they think, well, maybe some rich people don't have the same justice. I'm just an ordinary person. I live in a middle-class home. But there's really rich guys who do stuff, that if I did, I'd go to jail. And I think that's the way I look at the Epstein thing. I don't have any facts about it. I'm not consumed by it. But at the same time, I think that there's a perception out there that wealthy people got away with stuff and that something's being hidden.
So you started out talking about Epstein. It's certainly not my priority, but let's start out, truthfully. Let's start out and talk about what happened yesterday. What happened to Charlie Kirk dwarfs. I mean, the Epstein file is dwarfed by the implications of what happened.
Senator Johnson, I agree with all of these points. I agree, but I do feel like we are derailing from the Epstein file. You had...
We'll get to the Epstein files. I don't have that much to say about them because I don't know anything about them.
Then why did you vote against releasing it?
Because that was a charade. That was a poison pill trying to derail the passage of the National Defense Authorization Act. The Epstein files will eventually get released, okay?
We followed up with a couple Senate offices to see if they knew what Ron Johnson meant by this poison pill theory he's talking about, and they were just as confused as we were. You spoke with some of those victims last week. What can you tell the American people what you learned in that meeting?
I was moved to tears.
Well, I think my face showed it all. I left the meeting early in tears. It was just really, I'm going through something that's very raw and very similar. I'm about just under 2 years into my own trauma. I want to say that these women are very, very brave.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah, sure.
So how does it feel to have your whole party turning against you, to have the president turning against you, to have all this political power coming to bear on you just for trying to hold accountable in our government?
Well, as long as I've got the people back home for me and the people out in the country for me, that's okay. I've never tried to make it my priority to worry about my friendships here. I think half the reason people are motivated to keep them secret is embarrassment.
We are looking at the most blatant cover. The dumbest lies are being used. Are you not sure that there's something fishy going on?
I think there's something very fishy going on. And then you had one of the victims that died recently,
Virginia Giuffre. According to Trump's own words, Virginia Giuffre appears to be a key part of why he and Epstein had a falling out, and we'll cover this more in detail later in the episode.
I'm happy to try and extract those from the government. Yesterday's vote wasn't the time to do it.
Okay. The Wall Street Journal published what may or may not be a birthday card from Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein. They're known friends, known associates, many photos together, but Trump is suing them for $10 billion for defamation and other reasons. Is that a threat to freedom of speech to sue someone $10 billion to publish something?
First of all, I think President Trump is involved in something like 3,000 lawsuits in business.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, it's what he does, you know.
For a guy who keeps talking about free speech, he's awfully sensitive when the speech is a speech he doesn't like.
What I've just read is that you know 3 forensic handwriting analysts say that is not Trump.
Well, I tracked down the survivor's lawyers, and we went to Epstein's estate, and we said, okay, send us this birthday book. And lo and behold, the birthday book existed. They sent us the birthday book, and it turns out that there was Donald Trump's letter.
On the day we were in D.C. covering the story, the Wall Street Journal republished what they claimed was a birthday card from Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein. In response, Trump filed a $10 billion defamation lawsuit against the journal, saying that it caused him, quote, overwhelming financial and reputational harm. And folks, this seems to be the Trump family playbook. If you print something they don't like, they might just hit you with a massive, almost impossibly big lawsuit. I mean, just recently, Melania Trump sued Hunter Biden for over $1 billion over a claim that Epstein introduced her to Donald Trump, allegedly. And it then occurred to me that Trump might sue me for this very episode. So I called my lawyer to get his take.
Tommy G.
How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
I'm now getting a little bit scared that I'm going to get sued by the Trumps for an obscene amount of money.
Well, just always say, it's been said, it's been alleged. We don't have, like much of this, we don't have factual support. But it's been, you know, some have the opinion that. Just couch what you're saying.
And then what if I still do that and he still sues me?
Well, that'd be great for your career.
You don't think he'll win?
No.
So it's a nonsense lawsuit.
Yep.
And would it get thrown out by most reasonable people?
Yeah, because he's a public figure. They're both public figures, so they have to show that you have actual malice toward him. Also, I just wouldn't be too afraid of this.
This brings us to the bigger issue of free speech. If publications and journalists are scared into silence or sued into bankruptcy, this sets a dangerous precedent for journalism in this country. And in fact, a week after these interviews were filmed, Trump has now also sued the New York Times for $15 billion, also for defamation. So before I comment more on this Epstein story, first a quick disclaimer. In case Donald Trump or his lawyers see this, I just want to make it absolutely clear that his signature on the birthday card is totally fake, and it's fake news. And so just to show you how fake it is, we're going to compare it to real signatures from Donald Trump. Here, you guys can see it for yourself. Now that we've conclusively proved that it's not real, let's move on to another subject. Are they being blackmailed, threatened,
Well, that's
extorted?
the question. Who's controlling this? What are the powerful interests? Why is there such a reluctance to release it? It's like they're making it a bigger story every day that they don't release it.
Would he be acting in a way where he is hiding something?
It's hard to explain. From a technical perspective, I don't think there's anything that he needs to avoid. That technical information is available.
He's saying it's a nothing story and it's a hoax. Do you believe that?
I believe that there are Democrats who are using it as a wedge, as a political wedge.
Yeah.
And they're trying to infer that he's a nefarious person. I do think that that is part of what he's describing when he says hoax. I don't think nobody thinks that these women are lying. Nobody, absolutely nobody.
I think it's hard to look at this situation and say, yeah, Donald Trump has been very transparent and he's not trying to bury this. He's trying to say that when people ask him in a press conference, like, why are you even asking about this? How dare you? This is old news.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. Are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
Do you think these files should be released completely unredacted for all of us to see?
Well, yes, I believe in full disclosure of the files, releasing all the names, everything, but we would need to ensure that we redact for any child sexual abuse material or CCM underage kids.
Sure.
And that we would redact the names of victims. So that would be my only caveat to that. Yes, release it all. Before that, I'm on the bill. I've signed the discharge petition, and I will be voting for the bill when it comes to the floor of the House in a couple of weeks.
And we applaud you for that. Honestly, it's refreshing to see people going for transparency.
Yeah.
So people are very happy that you're doing that. Let's talk facts about the relationship between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. He previously said, I don't know the guy.
Oh, come on. Yeah, he knew the guy.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
So there are 5 people taking the 5th Amendment, like you see on the mob, right? You see the mob takes the 5th. If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment?
I know I'm not friends with any professional sex traffickers or pedophiles. I think like when you're, yeah, this to me is suspicious of. You said you didn't know the guy. We were tired of it.
I mean, he's been photographed with him. I mean, they.
Yeah, we were tired during the Biden administration of lies. A lot of us, especially independents, were like, man, this is the time that the veil is actually going to get peeled back. The JFK files, the Epstein files. There's going to be transparency. A guy that was targeted by the justice system is now going to. And it seems like, to the average person watching this, that our very own president is part of it.
Can we at least agree a birthday card, as gross as that is, has nothing to do with trafficking? I mean, there's no...
No, not at all, but he says he didn't know the guy. You knew the guy.
Aside from the numerous photos that they've had together, aside from the new reporting about the birthday book and the letters that he sent to him that's coming out.
Allegedly.
Aside from all of the statements from both of them that they were very close friends, aside from everyone that saw them hanging out together all through the 80s, aside from all that, yeah, we don't really know.
Why specifically did Trump and Epstein have a falling out, apparently?
Trump claims that Epstein took staff from his spa, took Virginia Giuffre and maybe others from his hotel.
And how old was Virginia at this time?
I believe that she was 16 at the time that she was taken from the spa. I don't know for sure. I know that she was 17 with Andrew. When you're talking about victims, like it feels like it matters extra to tell their story as truly as you can to what they said because of everything they've gone through, and especially Virginia, who not only went through the recruitment, the grooming, the abuse for years, but also everything since, and the bravery to tell the story and to, in one way or another, give her life to the story and to the victims in general to expose this. We owe her a great deal. I can't imagine that two dudes as close as Trump and Epstein were back then that are into the evil things that Epstein was definitely into and the questionable things that Donald Trump has openly talked about having been into.
Such as
pageantry, such as walking into the dressing rooms at his pageants while they are changing.
Donald Trump loves a beauty pageant. And by his own admission, he was no stranger backstage while owning parts of 3 different pageants for nearly 2 decades.
So they're standing there with no clue. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
I find it hard to imagine that they're breaking up their whole friendship because one of them was trying to recruit employees from a spa. Who knows? Everyone has their own theories, but I suspect that Trump is implicated in the files in some ways. And that doesn't even necessarily mean that he committed a crime. Doesn't mean that he ever had sex with a minor. Doesn't mean they have him on camera doing anything. It could just mean that he did business deals alongside these people over the years.
Folks, when I hear about the mysterious and nefarious character of Jeffrey Epstein, it makes me wonder what he was like in person. In 2002, Trump said, quote, "He's a great guy." But Melinda Gates, who met him once, described her meeting with him like this.
He was abhorrent. He was evil personified. I had nightmares about it afterwards.
In fact, her husband Bill Gates' relationship with Epstein was so disturbing that it was a key reason she ended her marriage of 27 years to one of the world's richest men. And because Trump considered Epstein to be a great guy and even invited him to a second wedding in 1993, I was curious what caused Trump to stop being pals with Epstein. Here's what Trump said about it.
But I said, if he's taking anybody from Mar-a-Lago, he's hiring or whatever he's doing, I didn't like it. Other people come and complain, this guy is taking people from the spa. I didn't know that. And then when I heard about it, I told him, I said, listen, we don't want you taking our people, whether it was spa or not spa. He was fine, and then not too long after that, he did it again, and I said, out of here.
Did one of those stolen, persons, does that include Virginia Giuffre?
I don't know. I think she worked at the spa.
Another theory on Trump and Epstein's falling out speculates that it was a bidding war on a 60,000 square foot mansion that contributed towards the end of their friendship, allegedly. So hypothetically, you could speculate on Epstein files.
Hypothetically, I could say that one could name names, the names that everybody wants to know.
But from what you've seen, is President Trump implicated in the files?
I don't know. If there was something in there that was damning to him as a man, let alone a candidate, I think that shit would have come out. During the election, during the criminal trials, I think the Democrats would have gotten it out if there was something there.
Mike Yeagley brings up a point that a lot of Republicans have also said, which is why is it that much of the mainstream media and many of the Democrats seemingly refuse to cover Epstein and Trump's relationship until now? It doesn't make sense to me either. If the files are so damaging to Trump, why didn't the left unleash this on him during the election cycle, which surely would have been the strategic move? Or is it possible that the damage the Epstein files will cause is so great to both Democrats and Republicans that both sides are too scared for the files to truly come out? I'd love to hear your theory in the comments.
I try to avoid the Trump side of it because there is a whole rabbit hole to go down with Trump, of his history with people like Roy Cohn, his history with Epstein, his history with these business deals and with these pageants and all these things. But ultimately, I care more about the Epstein files themselves because they're way bigger than Trump. It's not just Trump that's implicated. It's our entire government. It's our entire deep state apparatus.
Allegedly.
That's the thing about blackmail is you don't know who's controlled. You don't know who's controlled. We don't know how many strings are being pulled.
If you ever speculate, what kinds of people are on this list as far as the positions they hold, the power they have?
I think you would see high-profile media types, university presidents, CEOs beyond those that have already been called out, actors, rappers. You might see a religious figure here and there.
Do you think foreign intelligence executives are involved in this?
I do.
Can you speak more about how this could be a honeypot operation?
I think a lot of Americans don't have a strong understanding of how blackmail works because it's not something that we deal with in our regular lives. And I think that a lot of Americans are starting to think about it more and understand it more. And most people arrive at the very surface level first and they think that's the whole story. You think it's like, oh, you get them on camera having sex with a minor and then you own them and they do everything you want them to. And ultimately, that's not the only form of blackmail or honeypot that works. And ultimately, it's never that simple. Everyone does things in their life that they're ashamed of, that they would rather be able to take back. But that blackmail that you have from your past baggage, it never goes away. And so as you achieve a position of power later in life, you bring all that baggage with you, for better and for worse. And if anyone can find it and exploit it, then maybe you are about to work for that.
Do you think it's likely that Jeffrey Epstein was part of an intelligence agency and this was a honeypot operation to compromise people with blackmail?
I think that every option is on the table. I think it's an absolute possibility. I think, you know, I've never seen a honeypot operation, but I've heard stories of honeypot operations in our country, other countries, that it's a thing that they do. Davos, for example, that there are stories of prostitutes that show up and all these things go on. You have to think to yourself, we're not that stupid or that gullible. Somebody's filming something somewhere and going to hold it over someone's head for some deal. I would be shocked if that does not go on.
Now, this is the infamous jet, the Lolita Express. And some of the most influential and powerful people in the world took this jet to places like his island, where they did unspeakable things with minors. And this was likely part of the whole blackmail operation. But let me draw your attention back to this. Now, how did Epstein get this jet? Well, he bought it from none other than our friend Leslie Wexner, the guy that owns Victoria's Secret. And not only did he buy the jet from him, but he also happened to be this billionaire's financial advisor. Even though Jeffrey Epstein got fired from
had control of all his money.
What did Epstein have to advise billionaires on their financial assets? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Who is Leslie Wexner?
Leslie Wexner is one of the wealthiest and most powerful Jewish Zionist philanthropists and business owners in the world. He's a multi-billionaire. He lives in Ohio. He's from Ohio. And he founded L Brands, which is best known for Victoria's Secret. It's also Bath & Body Works. It's also Hollister, Abercrombie & Fitch, a whole bunch of these brands. Leslie Wexner had Jeffrey Epstein managing basically the whole estate for over a decade. Wow. He later claimed that Jeffrey stole money from him and that he didn't know anything about what Jeffrey Epstein was up to because it's plausibly deniable because he had signed over power of attorney. So Jeffrey Epstein could have done anything and he would never have known. So it's also coincidental. And then it's also coincidental that his other giant company, Hollister, Abercrombie & Fitch, that was run by a pedophile too. He put in his guy, Mike Jeffries, when he bought Abercrombie & Fitch in, I believe, 98 or late 90s. He put in Mike Jeffries as his CEO to turn the company around. And Abercrombie bought Hollister. They started targeting more young people. They launched all of the fashion catalogs for the young male model thing. And it turns out that that CEO that he put in was running a giant male sexual pedophile ring. And he was flying these young male models to like go and have crazy openings, all sorts of stuff. shit going on all around the world. And that guy just got caught last year, and they wrapped it up with the insanity defense because he has Alzheimer's, and you can't remember that. So it's just kind of weird that Leslie Wexner, who was the bankroll behind Jeffrey Epstein, had two different running two of his giant fashion brands in the modeling industry, and no one's ever asked him a single question. He's still a billionaire living in a mansion in Ohio, and he's completely free.
Do you see any overlap between the Epstein story and Israel?
I don't know, because I don't know what the files are. So some people who have alleged that Mossad is involved or that there are a foreign intelligence involved. I don't know. What I do know from Bradley Edwards, the lawyer of the victims, is he says that there are foreign actors involved.
Now, you might be wondering who some of the shadowy figures leaving Epstein's house masked up are. Well, that's none other than former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. What was he doing there?
We have recent email leaks from Ehud Barak that is his entire email inbox from almost a year's worth of time, and they communicated almost every day, often multiple times a day, direct contact about basically everything that they were doing. He also visited him frequently, and there's a whole year of time where Ehud Barak's known visits to Epstein were monthly on a schedule. Most people were visiting Epstein in what seemed like a leisure sense, but Ehud Barak was visiting him on a regular schedule. And he was also sneaking in and out of Epstein's mansion in disguise. Jeffrey Epstein referred not just Ehud Barak, but also Benjamin Netanyahu to JP Morgan. That's the current Prime Minister of Israel. Why is a random lone referring the current Prime Minister of Israel to JP Morgan?
Allegedly.
Oh, that's very well proven.
I'm scared of getting sued
Yeah.
again. One theory we heard is that Trump's not in the files in a bad way, but the reason that he's protecting it is because the fallout could be so great that it could collapse.
Crash the stock market.
So and I've said this on 9/11 as well. It's the Jack Nicholson. That comment. Can you handle the truth?
You want answers! I want the truth!
You can't handle the
truth!
It's a legitimate responsibility of the leader to take a look at something and go, this is probably better kept hidden.
It's possible that what he is protecting or trying to avoid would be a crisis, considering
Fucking do it.
who is probably
Fucking let it out.
So you think no matter who this impacts, we should go after them?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. Put all the cards on the table.
If top Republicans were named on the Epstein file, would you guys be willing to take care of them and to make sure that they are
I think
answered for their
regardless
crimes?
of party, if you're a child rapist, you should see capital punishment. You should get the death penalty.
Americans can handle the truth. Americans deserve the truth from their government.
I think we will pass the House, which is a huge issue, with the MAGA House passing it. And I think there'll be a lot of momentum to pass it in the Senate. But then Donald Trump can veto it.
What are the implications if we don't release the Epstein files?
When John F. Kennedy was president, trust in America was 60%. Today it's in the teens. People don't believe the government's working for them. People believe the rich and powerful don't have accountability. People believe that the whole thing is rigged. And they elected Trump partly to unrig it. And now they see 7 months in, he's part of the whole swamp. If we don't have the release, we're going to continue to erode trust in self-government.
The main thing about Epstein that everyone should know right now is that we don't need the files. The files are in many ways meaningless. Yes, it would be great to have our law enforcement agencies doing their job and investigating the case and looking for evidence to take down people that were involved, whether they were co-conspirators or whether they were clients, so to speak. We don't need them and we don't need those files because we already have in the public domain way more than enough to prosecute many people that were involved, to interview at least many more, and they're all just out there walking free.
Folks, one of the coolest things about being an American is by questioning the narrative, questioning our government, demanding truth, and not being afraid to speak out about anything. Part of American history, if you go all the way back to the Boston Tea Party, is questioning a government that we view to be tyrannical. And this government has decades of lying under its belt, both Republican and Democrat. They owe it to us. We are the ones that foot the bill. We are the ones that can't afford health care, housing, food on the table, while these people are protecting a billionaire sex trafficking pedophile ring. So folks, I say to you, read as many books as you can. Get in the gym and get in fighting shape. Get ready to rumble, because if shit needs to hit the fan, you better be ready. Folks, this is Tommy G. I love my life. I love you, and I love this country.
Hey.
Signing off. See you next week.
Tommy G.
This man
McGee.
is about to put a firework in his butt crack
Whoa.
to celebrate a Juggalo wedding.
What? Fucking firecracker in a bubble. Haven't seen that since the 80s.
What up, I'm Shaggy 2 Dope from ICP, and right now, you're checking out The Gathering, because we're f***ing here.
I approve this message.
What the hell is going on over here? That's a real there, and that's the first Tommy's it's gathering of the juggalos.
Like, we accept anybody and everybody. You just can't touch kids, and you can't talk to the cops.
I feel like I've always sort of faced being like an outcast, like even before, like I knew like people can just smell that like you're a little bit off.
Today, folks, we meet the Juggalos. Wild and degenerate, weird and sometimes gross, but also loving and accepting, kind and inviting. But who, might you ask, are these Juggalos? Well, in the early 90s, ICP, the Insane Clown Posse, a rap duo consisting of Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J, created the Juggalos and a cult-like fan base followed. With a style of rap that has since been labeled as hardcore, ICP makes music like this. Mix together Stephen King novel lyrics, throw in some backyard wrestling antics, spray the song with Faygo root beer, and have a man nearby wearing clown face paint displays butt crack. That, folks, is ICP in a nutshell. Their fans, the Juggalos, are a group of outcasts, oftentimes rejected by both society and their own blood. But at the Gathering of the Juggalos, this is a place where these misfits can gather under one umbrella and embrace each other as family. And at this festival, anything goes. Faygo wet t-shirt contests, a wide range of illicit drug use, Juggalo weddings, and absolute chaos, carnage, and mayhem. As someone who loves to explore the great subcultures of America, it's my great pleasure this week to take you into potentially the most degenerate festival in the country. Folks, this is the Gathering of the Juggalos. Woo woo, folks. My name's Tommy G. Today, we're in the quiet town of Thornville, Ohio, but nearby, there is some absolute ruckus happening. The Gathering of the Juggalos. I had Juggalos at my high school. They were kind of more like a social outcasty, punk rocky, skateboard, do drugs, misfit, don't quite fit in, but they have a good time. Kids that if you hung out with in gym class, they were cool, they made you laugh, they were fun, but maybe not the kid that you would trust to do your math homework. And also as a kid, I went to Tech Nine concerts. He's a rapper that has a lot of Juggalo adjacent fans show up to his shows, and they go nuts at shows. Mosh pits, face pits, whoop, whoop, noise, all of that. Without further ado, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop.
I need the brakes, bro. Oh, hey,
What's happening, brother?
Oh, man.
How you doing?
Long-time watcher, bro.
I appreciate you.
For like 3 years.
You got any advice for today?
See you. Screw you, bro.
Okay, what's the wildest thing that's occurred on your watch?
I mean, the competition was pretty, a couple years ago was pretty wild on stage.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's just majority a lot of buttholes.
A lot of buttholes?
Yeah, you'll see us like this, it's like a melting butthole.
Did you participate in the dive competition in any shape or form?
Nope, unfortunately I was on shift.
Whoop whoop to you, sir.
Nice
to meet you.
Can you show me your setup? What do you got here? This is like Bear Grylls for Juggalos.
So we were in the parking lot here today. We've got canopy, courtesy of Emily here.
Thank you, Emily.
We've got 2 Walmart tents, $30 each actually. Very
nice.
solid. I encourage you to say hi to all of the Juggalos. Are you going to the white t-shirt contest later?
When is that?
5.
I will not miss it. Tell me about the Hatchet Men.
The Hatchet Man is the iconic symbol of ICP, the great band that we are all here together for today. Yeah, I also have my Hatchet bag. It's like the last living breath of punk rock left. This is my second year. I might come back every year until I die. I might.
What made you become a Juggalo, Juggalette?
I just love Insane Clown Posse a lot.
How long have you considered yourself a Juggalette?
I would say probably 2 years. Like since I came here, I think it's when I really found myself for the first time. Yeah.
there's a lot of people here that they try to fit in, and a lot of others seem to find themselves, but like when they really find themselves in the Juggalo world, it's because this is what they've always been. Space where you can be yourself. It's not really about following a code or a trend, you know what I mean? It's just about being you.
I guess. So you've been coming 15 years in a row.
15 years in a row, yes sir.
What would make you miss this?
Prison or death.
I'm properly wearing the symbol, apparently a melted butthole. Why it's melting, I'm not quite sure. That's another mystery of the Juggalos we're going to have to explore today.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hey, get a picture of that. He got the seal pose going on.
The seal pose?
I don't know if that's a real thing, but it looked like a real thing.
You take care of it.
What do whippets mean to you, man?
Everything. What do you think so far?
So far, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This shit a little too much. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's an overwhelming scene at first. Is this your first Juggalo experience?
It's my first Juggalo. Yeah.
So you're not by day a Juggalo. You're just experiencing it.
I'm just seeing what's up with it, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like I do food reviews. I'm scared to try the food. I'm scared I might get drugged up or something. I don't know.
Apparently, a lot of people will show you their butthole around here.
I just seen somebody show Buck their butt.
And not even no homo, because I don't think it's homo, but I haven't investigated it further.
So it's not homo to show a man your butt?
Good eye. Hold on.
Yeah, it's kind of homo. What do you do by day when you're not Juggalo convention?
I work at a golf course. So,
Yeah?
Yeah. Just got fired. Yeah, we both just.
You guys work at the same spot?
Yeah.
Why'd you get fired?
My sister was a jealous and I went on a family vacation.
So you also got fired by her sister?
Yeah. Because they have 19 an hour.
This show actually was super fun. Oh, damn!
They throwing water balloons at me.
Yesterday you just did a testicle challenge, shall we say?
Yeah, Nutshot Olympics. I didn't really care to win the Nutshot Olympics. Is there really a winner? No, but
Is there really a winner?
Fun. So yesterday I opened the show with getting my balls tased multiple times. I dropped a 12-pack of beer on my balls from about 10 feet up.
How are you feeling this morning, a day later from that?
I'm exhausted, a little sore. This morning I felt like above my was a little bruised just from the impact of the 12-pack of beer. Overall, like if you're not a little sore the next day, like it wasn't really a successful day. So.
My dog Gary Webb, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dog is dope as bro.
Appreciate you, man. What's your thoughts on our government?
You don't want to hear that.
I kind of do.
I believe in aliens.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Are you an alien?
I am.
Yeah? Have you ever met an alien?
No.
Or do you think we would encounter aliens?
The White House.
Biden's an alien?
No, he's too old.
Trump?
No, bro, he's too rich.
How do you know an alien in the wild?
You don't.
Do you think they look like humans?
They look like me.
What conspiracy do you believe in?
I believe in all of them.
9/11, inside job?
Yeah.
No.
Undoubtedly.
Bush did it.
Undoubtedly.
Bush had no idea. Dude's dumb.
Earth is flat.
No.
No. Well, you see that from space, dog. I see that from home.
Birds are real.
They're not real. They're on power lines and charged up, dog.
You know that the Chinese apparently made bird-like drones?
Yeah, they have mosquito drones too. Did Mabu pay you?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
Alright, okay, because I'm about to say, bro, that ass shit, bro. I was a fan.
You know where that money went to go fund?
Wrestling, right?
Yeah, kids wrestling. Mama tried?
Yeah, Mama tried to save me.
Tell me about that.
I love my mom. Everybody loves their mom, you know what I'm saying? So I got that for her because I just want to know if she did try, you know?
She did try.
How's your mom?
She's doing good, dude.
Doing good?
Yeah.
You should call her more.
I should. What kind of questions your mom ask you?
Trevor, what are you doing? Trevor, how are the kids? Which are cool. Trevor, are you on any drugs? Mom, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What's happening right now if you guys want to come to it?
Is this Juggalo wedding?
3 p.m. Right now.
Let's do it.
My twin sister's getting married.
Really?
Yeah. I'm the best man. And my brothers have made an honor. This is your first time here? Mm-hmm. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Really?
You're a dominated picture.
Yeah.
How is that?
Amazing. Do you like getting paid?
I've never been.
Okay. We should probably arrange that here.
I'm married, but if my wife wants to stick her finger in my butt, we can start there.
Okay. She wants you to get Faygo spit in your mouth.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you pick. I want to spit Faygo in this mouth and then smack out of her.
Dude, why do people get paid to get slapped? I don't understand that.
I don't get it either. Faygo in the mouth and then kicked in the balls. Oh my god, I'm definitely not looking forward to that.
Alright. Is everybody ready?
I hate this.
Alright.
She popped them.
She popped her nuts.
They're popped.
They're popped.
They're f***ing popped. Thanks, mommy.
What's the most common service you provide? People pay you to slap?
Yeah, I hurt my hand a little bit, swollen. Come with us. Let me smack you in the face one time.
Let's go have that on Juggalo Baby.
Look for love, man.
Like you want to make a Juggalo Baby tonight with somebody?
I mean, no, this is like a long-term investment type thing.
Oh, so you're looking for commitment. You're looking for a Jugga wife.
Jugga family.
Jugga community.
Yeah, exactly.
When was the last time you experienced that?
Right about COVID time. I love the girl. I still love her. You know, I love her to death. But, you know, we all move on. You know, I'll catch her later on. You know what I'm saying?
What did you learn from that relationship?
Be honest with yourself.
This is my beautiful wife, Chrissy. Short, Miss Short. Go ahead. This is my 12 gathering.
And
I'm trying to get married here.
How long have you known the person that you're about to marry?
7 years. We got 4 kids together.
We're doing this?
Yeah.
How's that going?
Crazy.
This man is about to put a firework in his butt crack. Is that an accurate statement? Yes. To celebrate a Juggalo wedding.
Oh boy.
Next time, wife.
Hey, mind your Who's the officiator of this wedding?
Adam, Mr. Tiny Hand, Minister Tiny Hand.
Minister Tiny Hand?
Look, you gotta wear it.
Sometimes.
We're not it's gonna make everybody do. I'm getting nervous. Say hi to the camera. Hi. All right, people.
Be a lofty winning wife, love and cherish, stand by her side through all challenges, triumph, and the many Faygo showers that are yet to come your way.
Take me home, baby. I'll take you wherever I do.
Be your lawfully wedded wife, to love and cherish, be your partner in all of life's wonderful adventures, stand by her side through all the challenges, triumph, and every Faygo shower yet to come your way.
Yeah, yes.
That is a beautiful answer.
Alright folks, so we just witnessed a Juggalo wedding. And I feel like it encapsulated everything that a Juggalo is, which is a little weird, unconventional, a little trashy. I mean, someone is shooting a firecracker out of their butt crack to celebrate this wedding. But at the same time, there's a lot of love, a lot of laughter, and a lot of that I just don't get that type of feeling. This is the place where they can come and join hands and do weird shenanigans and have a blast doing it with no one there to monitor them.
I have so many babies in my pocket. Who wants a baby?
How'd you get all those babies?
I found them on the ground. Someone needs to adopt them kids. Take these babies. They need parents. You want a baby?
How'd you guys get into the Juggalo scene?
I was kind of a late bloomer. The first gathering I went to was 03, the first outdoor one in Garrettsville. From Juggalo ever since.
Growing up, did you feel like a misfit?
Yeah,
always. Well, I moved a lot, so I was always the new kid, so I never really had any friends and shit like that.
Was there ever a time you didn't feel like an outcast?
No, I've always been the weird kid. I eat bugs to impress people.
Yeah?
That was that one. And by the time I got to high school, they kept me in the group home.
Why did you do a group home?
Religious differences. My mom was a hardcore Christian, and I had a book of shadows, like a Wiccan journal with a bunch of pentagrams drawn in blood. She saw that and got rid of me. Group home's like a prison system with less supervision, so it's a good chance of getting stabbed. I slept with a knife when I was still single back then. Kids got my ass beat in the first group home. They stomped in the gravel so hard that after they it took them 6 hours to pull all the gravel out of my face.
How old were you in that?
That was when I first got to the group homes. That was like 15 or 16. And I got my ass beat hard by the street, black people. Kind of made me racist for a little while, but I finally got over that. Not that I ever thought I was better then, but I was more nervous around black people.
When you were in the group homes, what kind of thoughts were going through your head at that time?
I just wanted to die. I went to the nut house about a dozen times this side of town. Successfully myself once, got resurrected in the back of the ambulance. So it was a whole lot of, once I realized I couldn't be part of my family, family's all that matters in this life. There's no reason to live anymore. Now I got emphysema, so I realized I'm never going to be able to start a family of my own, so I got back to being suicidal all the time.
Kenny, how long have you been painting your face for?
Since like high school, probably like almost 10 years.
How many gatherings have you been to?
This is my fourth. I actually got four.
Okay.
I feel like I've always sort of faced being like an outcast. Like even before, like I knew like people can just smell that like you're a little bit off, but
yeah, these seem like ride or die type of people for each other.
These are my f***ing people.
Tell me about some of these tattoos you got going on.
My first one, Mr. Farr right here. He's a little bean. I'm currently working on this body sleeve right now. It's not finished, but it's like touches in.
Do you feel like it's a hard world to find friends in?
Sometimes, but like, even in the darkest places, there's still light.
What was a period of your life where you were really, really happy?
Honestly, right now. Like, I feel like I've gone through a lot of shitty things, just like anybody has in their life. Like, my big sister almost died this year, and that really shook me up. She had a 3% chance of living, and she's still walking around, so, it makes me feel great. The people around you kind of make it easier to keep going.
Do you plan on having a juggalo wedding one day?
Solid maybe. I'm in a little trio with two people, so it wouldn't be a traditional wedding.
You guys are a trio?
Yeah.
Tell me how that is navigating that.
I love being happy. I never really had a solid family growing up, so being able to have people that love me, for me, is beautiful. And this symbol represents all of it. All the love, all the hate,